Okay, hello. So I am here today to talk about all things sorority rush related. I get a lot of questions about sorority rush and the process, so I just figured that I would sit down and just make a video explaining everything, because I remember being a potential new member and being super nervous and just like not knowing what was going on. I was watching videos like this religiously, and this time 3 years ago I was absolutely freaking out. So I'm just gonna explain the rush process, explain the rounds, and give any tips and advice that I have. So for those of you who don't know, I'm Laura Kate and I am now a senior at the University of Tennessee, which is crazy, and I'm also a member of Alpha Delta Pi. I joined when I was a freshman, so I've been in for 3 years now. So I've been through the recruitment process several times, so I'm just gonna share my tips and advice that I have and things that I wish that I knew as a PNM when I was going through 3 years ago. So like I said, I was very nervous as a PNM. I did not know what to expect. I knew that I wanted to join a sorority going into college, but I was unsure about the whole process of it because it can be very scary and intimidating and confusing if you don't know what is going on. So I do go to the University of Tennessee, so the way that I'm explaining this is going to be how my school does it. Every school does the recruiting process different, so I'm just going to explain how we do it here, but the advice that I give can really just be taken by anyone, no matter what school you go to. So the recruitment process is the process of joining a sorority. It's typically about a week long with different rounds, and it gives you the opportunity to get to know the chapters and figure out which one you think might be best for you. So the way it starts off is you register online. I'll have a link to do that down below. So if you guys want to do recruitment, you guys can go and register after you watch this. You'll typically like pay a fee and then write a few things about yourself, about like why you want to rush, your GPA, things you're interested in, just stuff like that. So on the first night there is an orientation, and they just kind of go over what to expect during the week, how the rounds work, and you'll be introduced to your Gamma Chi group. So a Gamma Chi group is a group of girls that are going through rush just like you, and you have a Gamma Chi leader. They're called different things at different schools. UT just calls them Gamma Chi. So a Gamma Chi is a person who is completely disaffiliated from their sorority, and they're there to be kind of like your big sister during rush, just to give you like all the advice you need. They are there for your emotional support, because I'm telling y'all, this week is very stressful. So they are there to answer all of your phone calls, to talk you through it. They're there to kind of give you advice from an objective perspective, because they are disaffiliated from their chapter. So you don't know what sorority they're in until the very last day. So Gamma Chi's are great, and your Gamma Chi group is kind of going to be like, especially if you're a freshman, for me it was kind of like my first friends that I met in college. I'm still friends with girls that I met in my Gamma Chi group today. It's really special, and it's nice because you're going through that process together. And yeah, so the first round of recruitment is Go Greek round, and this is the round where you visit all 13 sororities at UT, and at other schools it's where you'll visit all of the sororities as well. So this round is typically like a 15-minute conversation. You'll walk into the house and a girl will grab you, and you'll go and sit in a chair, and they'll just kind of talk to you. Typically like the president or like the recruitment chair will get up on stage and like say something. But yeah, this is just kind of like a fun, lighthearted conversation, kind of get to know you round. Again, the conversations are really short because y'all have a lot of houses to visit that day, and we have a lot of PNMs to talk to. So it's a lot of fun. It's a very long day, but it's fun to go and visit all of the houses and go and like see what they look like and stuff. So then after that, you'll rank your top 10 houses that you want to be invited back to. So then the next round is philanthropy round, and so on this day you can be invited back up to 10 houses, and everyone's situation is different. Some people can be invited back up to 10 houses, some people can get invited back up to 4 houses. It really doesn't matter. Everyone's recruitment schedule is completely different and unique to you. So each sorority has a philanthropy that they kind of associate with and do things with during the year. For AD Pi, ours is the Ronald McDonald House, so we have a little presentation about that. We talk about the things that we do to kind of help that organization and fundraisers we put on. So this conversation is typically a little longer. I want to say it's maybe like 30 minutes. So yeah, this is the time for us to inform you guys about our philanthropy philanthropy. This is a great time to talk about maybe charities that you were involved with in high school or service hours that you might have. And yeah, so the next round is sisterhood. On this round, I believe you can be invited back up to 6 houses. This conversation is probably about 45 minutes. This is where we get to talk about our friendships in the chapter and how much our sisterhood means to us, and we get to share that with y'all. It's a really sweet and special round because it's something that's really special to us. So I feel like this is the round where we really show our hearts in the chapter and how much all of our friends mean to us, how much all of our friendships mean to us, and what our sorority has done for us in our lives. Typically there's like a video they play and things like that. This is really where you're getting to know the sorority and getting to know the girls. You'll talk to multiple girls during this round just so you can kind of get a feel for maybe the different personalities that might be in the chapter. And then the last and final round is pref round, and this round you can be invited back up to 2 chapters. This is the most special round during all of recruitment. This is where you make the decision of the sorority that you want to join. This round can be very emotional because recruitment is such a stressful week. And so it's like you finally get to the last and final round, and it's like you're having to make the tough decision of which chapter you want to join. Yeah, I want to say that this round is honestly maybe an hour. It's definitely the longest round. After this round, you'll talk to your Gamma Chi, and then you will decide which sorority you would prefer to be in. And then the next day is bid day, when you receive your bid, and it's the best day ever, and you get to run home. That's a very quick overview of the rounds. Obviously, if you're rushing, you can talk to your Gamma Chi more about this. They can probably give you more information about it than I can. But one thing that is very big in recruitment is talking and being able to hold a good conversation. So I'm just gonna give some advice on talking points and things to maybe say and things to maybe don't say. There are rules on things that you can and can't talk about. So it's always good to know that before going in, just so that your conversations are the best that they can be. So things you do want to talk about are maybe your hobbies or things you're interested in, because you're really trying to bond with the girl that you're talking to, because you want to see if this is a chapter that you could see yourself in. One thing that I like to ask PNMs is, you know, what are your friends like from home? What are you looking for in a friend? Because this is going to be where you could be for your 4 years of college. So it's very important to see, like, do my values align with this chapter? I would say before going in, I'm sure your Gamma Chi will encourage you to do this too. Make a list of things that you like value in a friendships, or like personal values that you have. And when you go into the house, kind of in your conversation, see if your values align with the chapter, because that's what's going to help you make the very best decision possible. Also, you know, talk about what you want to be involved in college. Are you interested in being in any leadership position? But also in the conversations, just, you know, be yourself. Don't put on a fake front. That is my biggest advice to you, is when you go into recruitment, be 100% your authentic self. Because I will tell you from experience, you do not want to walk in somewhere and act like someone you're not. I have found the most genuine, authentic friendships in my sorority. And when I was going through the recruitment process, I realized that, you know, this was a place where I could be myself, and I didn't have to put, you know, like put on that fake front when I walked into the house. I felt like I could be 100% myself, and that's what, you know, led me to the decision of joining my sorority. You know, sororities are made up of people of so many different personalities and walks of life, and that's what makes it so great, is because there's so many different people coming together in one place to create this wonderful group of girls. Now, there are things that we don't talk about during recruitment. Your Gamma Chi, I'm sure will go over this with you. But I'm telling y'all this because I don't want y'all to be put in an awkward situation, and it's also awkward for us because we're not allowed to talk about certain things, and so it's awkward for us to kind of have to redirect the conversation. So it's much better to know about not talking about these things before going into recruitment rather than before it's too late. So we do not talk about boys at all. We do not talk about fraternities at all. We do not talk about parties or drinking or anything along those lines. The reason you are going through this process to join a sorority, not to figure out which sorority is going to help you meet the most boys. That's not it. Anything that is just unclassy to talk about, it's just a big no-no. You know, at the end of recruitment, you could be a sorority woman. And for us, we're looking for people who are going to represent our chapter well. So if the first conversation we have with someone is going to be about boys and booze, that's not the best representation that you're giving of yourself. And you want to obviously give the best representation of yourself while also being yourself. So yeah, recruitment is a very long week. But I just want all of you to just remember that no matter what happens, you will end up exactly where you're supposed to be. It is such an emotional week. It is hard, it is stressful, but you will make it through it. It might not feel like it at the time, but you will. And no matter where you end up, just remember that you are there for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. Everything works out for a reason. That's what really got me through the whole recruitment process. I would love to make a video talking about my recruitment experience, but I'm gonna save that one for maybe another time. My biggest advice is to just be yourself, know your values, and find a place that matches your values too. I am a firm believer that you do not need to change yourself for anyone or anything, and that you need to stay true to yourself 100%. And if you do that, everything else will completely fall into place. It certainly did for me. It did not feel like it at the time because recruitment is very stressful, very emotional. I remember just thinking like, when is this gonna be over? This is so draining. But yeah, looking back on it, every single thing worked out so perfectly. And my sorority experience has been absolutely wonderful. I've met the most wonderful people, the most wonderful friends. I've made amazing connections that are gonna help me in my future career. It's just a really cool network of people, especially when you're a freshman getting into college and you don't know anybody. It's a great way to meet people. If you're hesitant about rushing at all, I would highly suggest that you do it, at least try it out, because you never know anything until you try. I know several girls who are like, I did not want to rush. I did not want to join a sorority, and now they are in a sorority and they are so happy, and it's really enriched their college experience so much. So if you're hesitant about rushing at all, please do it. Please try it out. And just remember to be yourself and stay true to yourself during the whole process, and everything will work out exactly as it should. But thank y'all so much for watching. I hope that this video was helpful to some of you, because I know when I was a PNM, I was absolutely terrified. I was watching videos like this like crazy. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. So I hope that this kind of eased your nerves a little bit and gave you some insight on kind of what to expect. If you're interested in seeing anything about like what a sorority's like or things we might do, I have some vlogs that I've done of like recruitment in years past and like philanthropy events and stuff like that. I'll try and link a few of them down below, so if you guys want to go and watch that, you are more than welcome to. But thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one.